Hello everyone, and welcome to another Toonkind at 12 FPS. I'm Vamp, and today I shall be playing Nour, who is going through it. And I am joined today by my lovely friend Candle. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Candlestick, and today I'm going to be playing my little star, who is on self-appointed counseling duty to make sure everyone is doing okay after the last game.
And Star, how are you feeling? Are you doing okay?
Don't worry about it.
I worry about it.
Um, they might be doing this in order to not think about their own feelings.
Hmm. And well, as always, our FPS begins in the quiet, idyllic town of Dreamers Crest in Ghibli. And Star, what exactly are you doing on this fine day?
Um, I think they're currently looking for Nour because they're doing their rounds, they're checking up on people, and yeah, it's like probably time to check on Nour.
All right, so I guess roll me perception to see if you can find him.
Yep. Oh, that's a 7.
Yes, Star, you don't see anything. It might just be your height. It might just be because as bad as Noor is at stuff, you are somehow even worse at perception. Um, but you can't seem to find them person. And I'm just I'm just gonna be nice and let you roll another perception if you like.
Maybe this one can be how long it takes him. How determined is he to find Nour?
Yeah. But if you roll bad,
Ah! That's another 7.
oh no. God, that's another. I'm gonna say you do find him eventually, but it takes you like 2 hours.
Yeah, yeah, it's just like wandering around for hours. Like, I'm gonna find him. I don't know where he's hidden himself. It's like the most obvious place that he's just not looking, but it's just.
Yeah, you pass under the same tree like three separate times in this like 2 hour walk before finally like on the 25th time you're passing under this tree, you finally hear Nor saying, "Okay, this is getting painful to watch. What are you even looking for?" And you look up and you see him like sitting on the branch with a cigarette.
You just get there's a face palm followed by him pointing up at you.
You were looking for me.
Yeah, a nod and um uh like a thumbs up followed by like a question mark.
Well, congratulations, you found me. I was here this whole time.
It's just a deadpan look back, like, yeah, I've put that together.
And do you want to roll an insight?
Sure, who's hoping that goes better than my perception?
I'm sure it'll be fine. It's fine. Everything is fine.
Ah, are you kidding me? That's another
You.
7!
Oh, that makes sense though. Although you've hung out with Nora for quite a while now, he is really hard to read. He is extremely hard to read, and he's just kind of like looking at you from up on the tree, and you can't tell what he's thinking, if he's thinking anything. Or he and exhales a stream of smoke and goes, "Well, why were you looking for me?"
I'm gonna roll something quickly.
God, I can't believe you just rolled triple sevens.
With different modifiers, too.
Yep. If you roll another seven,
Alright, I think that's good enough. He climbs up the tree and plops down on the branch next to you.
and Nora gives a little like squawk. and surprised because he wasn't expecting that. But I'm actually gonna roll something. That's a four. You like
Join the low rolls with me, no?
Star, you sit down on a branch and your added weight to the wood actually causes the branch to shake. And you see Nor kind of lose his balance and start to topple over.
Okay, okay. Deck save time. Please, dice, be nice to me. 16.
16. You do manage to catch him by the back of like his shirt before he actually falls out of the tree.
Ah, small miracles, I suppose.
Yeah, and he gives another squawk before he huffs and as you presumably pull him back onto the branch. He kind of digs his fingers into the wood so that doesn't happen again.
Yeah, there's a very whoops sort of expression and sorry that gets flashed in Noah's direction before he very carefully sort of like um rotates to face Noah a little better and again sort of makes the gesture of like how are you?
Gonna, gonna, gonna roll, gonna roll, gonna roll, real quick. Give me a second. That's a +7.
Oh
Oh, that's a
boo.
24. I mean, you can try to roll contesting inside.
I mean, I'll try, but
You'd
we're gonna
need a
have
nat 20.
yeah, yeah,
2 out of 20 chance. 2 out of 20 chance. Your odds aren't that bad.
no,
Oh goddamn. Yeah, but again, that makes sense. Nor is hard to read, and Star, you might have like at this point, this group has known each other for a bit, but you and Nor have never really hung out together.
yeah.
He's always like either traveling out or like just chilling somewhere while everyone else is working. So you can't tell if he's telling the truth or not when he just like shrugs and goes, "Yeah, I'm just fine. Why wouldn't I be?"
I think it's probably with that. That's still a 15. I think there's a kind of doubtful expression, but again, he just doesn't know Nor well enough to be able to go, no, you're definitely lying, even if he's like, given everything that's happened, I highly doubt that, but you never know.
Hmm. And hmm, yeah, he kind of like he doesn't say anything to your suspicious look. He just kind of meets it and takes a slow drag from his cigarette.
Yeah, I'm imagining there's just like this long pause of silence where Noah just like slowly lifts the cigarette up to his lips and then just like before
It's
Star's like, yeah, okay, you're not going to give me any more than that.
Yep. And he actually looks at you, Star, and his eyes narrows a bit and he goes, besides, that's kind of what about you then?
Do question mark. What about me?
You're asking me if I'm okay, but are you okay? Kinda in a hey, you can't ask people if they're okay if you're just doing it to avoid like admitting you yourself struggling with something kind of deal. It's the same kind of expression he wore when the last time you both had talked properly in the middle of the almost burning forest, and you had also asked him if he wanted to talk about it, and he asked you if you wanted to talk about it.
hmm. This is okay. This is probably not going to go well.
Oh boy.
It's not too bad. Yeah, you get a yeah, I'm fine, like thumbs up.
I'm really inside. I'm really inside, Candle. 9. Oh God. Again, it makes sense though, because they don't know each other very well.
Yeah,
Like
he seems
Norse
fine.
Quince at you, Norse Quince at you, unconvinced, but he kind of just decides not enough. Like doesn't want to put in that much effort, and he kind of shakes a cigarette a little, ashes and little bits of like fire. Um, kind of drift down from it, and he's just like, "Well, if you're fine and I'm fine, I guess you have nothing else to do here."
um, yeah, I think Star shrugs a little bit, and then it looks like he's deciding to get up before kind of shrugs again and like shifts back down, and then there's a this is nice. I'm gonna stay for a while.
Hmm. Hmm. Nour kind of worries the cigarette in his mouth for a bit, and you don't have to roll inside to see that Nour is considering abandoning the branch and like packing off somewhere. But he, in the end, he doesn't. Although you can't be sure how much of it is just because he doesn't mind your company, or and how much of it is because he doesn't want to try a like scaling down the tree and like falling out again.
There, yeah, just there's a slight smug expression because Star is sitting between you and the trunk of the tree.
Yeah, if he tried, he will like fall off.
um,
Which, really, Star, you know what Nour is, right?
I think he has enough experience to have been able to piece it together.
Yeah, and you probably know now where his messed up dexterity comes from.
Yeah. In fact, he's looking a little bit thoughtful because that's sort of like crossing his mind as well. And then he's like sort of hesitates and then makes like an image of a phoenix in his hands and gestures at Noah.
He looks at the image in your hands, and he the cigarette that he has been wearing, it's been kind of dimming a bit the way cigarettes do when you need to really light them. He just kind of sucks in, exhales, and the tip of it flares back to life with fire. And he's just like, "Yeah, what about it?" In a kind of defensive tone.
There's a again sort of like a thoughtful, hesitant expression before before he sort of like um there's another set of images that sort of translates to uh do you miss flying?
Ooh, roll inside at advantage.
Oh boy.
You have advantage.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, that's a 23. Finally. Okay, so you asked him if he misses flying, and you cannot possibly, with a 23, you cannot possibly miss like the shared longing that crosses his face for a moment. And his one of his hands actually twitches to his back. Like he's almost like grabbing at where his wings used to be. And he goes quiet for a very, very long moment before kind of shrugging and saying, I knew what I was giving up. And not really answering your question.
Hmm. You're welcome to roll insight back if you'd like.
I will. I'm not sure if it will. A 14.
Yeah, I'd say that's enough. Um, you get a little soft pat on the arm, not enough to like unbalance you. And if you look over, you will actually see sort of understanding and maybe even the same sort of like understanding of um and mutual feeling of that.
He actually kind of looks at. He actually kind of looks at Star like, huh, and just, what? Did you used to fly?
Yeah, you get a short little nod.
He looks Star over, and it's just like, I don't see any wings on you.
there's a slight there's a big laugh and then a shake of his head, and he makes a picture in his hands of an aeroplane. I have no
And
idea if Marcel sorry, God.
where's that? Where's that? Candle?
I was
Where's
looking
that?
at your name currently. I don't know if Nour knows what an aeroplane is, but yeah.
I think that depends on whether or not places outside of Inkwell have airplanes.
Hmm. Don't know. They know they have them in Inkwell though.
E. I mean, I'm gonna make the executive decision here and say that he recognizes what the airplane is. Like, even if he's never seen one, it has a pretty distinctive shape.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, someone's calling me.
Okay. Hi. I'm doing well. How about you guys? That's good.
Sorry about that, I was being too loud.
That's fine.
Yeah. Uh, Sorry, where were we?
Um, we were airplanes. Yeah.
Oh,
Nour
yeah.
recognizes what airplanes are.
Yeah, and he kind of leans back on the tree, like, not against the tree actually, because Star is between him and the trunk. But he actually goes, why not just get a new airplane, build one, or someone to build one?
Oh, there's a long breath. And I'm gonna roll again. Oh God, Star. um, he shrugs, but there's definitely a very guarded, sad expression on his face.
Hmm. Nour kind of, Nour kind of side eyes Star for a bit, like with his cigarette in his mouth, and goes, unless there's something about your airplane specifically that you didn't want to replace.
There's a um kind of like a hand motion seesaw, like kind of and yeah, like a it's complicated.
Mm, like Nour kind of like takes that in with a nod, and he doesn't seem to know what to say in response to that. Like he looks somewhat semi awkward, not right now.
Join the club.
Yeah, and he is just like, well, does it have to be an airplane? Can't you just, I don't know. I've heard about things called helicopters.
Um yeah, there's Star makes a face and uh like I really don't know how he would respond to this. Um
Star is feeling a lot of things right now.
Yeah.
So, meanwhile, Nour is just sitting here with absolutely no context.
um. Yeah, you get a I guess a shrug again, and I guess like, well, y- you get the impression that he's not all that fond of helicopters as compared to airplanes, but again that there's just a shrug and that there's probably more to it than that.
Yeah, Nora kind of takes a look at Star and she's just like, did you crash or something?
um, hold on. Oh
That's a
God!
tree.
Yes, yes, he did.
Yeah, yeah, I'm assuming that tree was in deception. Yeah, Star, even you can tell you're not doing a good job of hiding it.
Yeah, there's
And
just a sort of face like he's annoyed at himself.
I mean, do you still have the parts or everything? What was his name again? What was his name again? A guy who eats grilled footballs.
Tio, the name pops up.
Right, Theo seems pretty into fixing things. You can get back into the sky if you have any sort of parts still with you, unless you're scared.
Hmm. Um, he they look a little affronted by that comment before it kind of turns into a bit of a shameful look like, yeah, maybe that might have something to do with it.
Hmm. I think Nor kind of like looks at Star again. It's just like, so your solution to that is to just never fly again?
Um, yeah, he kind of shrugs and turns away. Looks like he's gonna begin trying to climb down from the tree.
Nor, there are two wolves inside Nor, and I'm gonna fucking roll to see which wolf. Okay, so uh you go to like shimmy down the tree and Nor is just like, don't you miss it? The wind, the sky?
um, yeah, I think Star will pause at that and nod, and again you can see there's the real wistful look on their face.
Mm. Nor kind of Nor kind of looks at that and he isn't like really the nicest of guys. Like in the Dreamers Crest crew, like Nor is probably like the most apathetic, if that makes sense.
Hmm.
But this is something he can very heavily empathize with, like the will and the want and the desire to like go back to the sky.
Mm, yeah.
Because there really is no feeling like it, and he is also additionally a bird.
Yeah.
And you hear him like whistle something under his breath for a moment in primordial Ignan, or he kind of turns his head to look at you and goes, technically speaking, I've never flown in my life.
There's a kind of curious look.
Well, I remember flying, but I've never flown in this life.
Ah, there's a look of understanding that crosses Star's face, and they sit back down again.
Hmm. Don't actually know if I can even fly. And here he kind of like pokes his arm like in this form. I put in those human characters. So exactly so I didn't keep shifting back into a bird, which Graham removed from their version of the seal, and well, we have a nice phoenix sometimes now. Gesture at the big bird that's probably visible from up the tree.
Yeah. There's a silent snort of laughter, and Star rolls their eyes about that whole situation.
Hey, I didn't see you helping.
Just sticks his tongue out at them, at him.
Yeah, and Nour just kind of picks at the skin of his fingernails for a bit before going. I have never actually flown in this life, and not actually sure if these seals prevent me from flying. Not very keen on trying either. It's not like I can jump off a cliff and hope for the best. Don't even know if it can come back in this form either.
Hmm. Yeah, there's just a kind of sort of expression. And yeah, I get that. Um, and he pauses again for a moment. And then um hesitates and has some more images. Um, and you can pass that what what they're saying is I'm scared if I fly again, uh, how much time will pass.
Oh, okay. Nor actually blinks at that and looks at Star properly, and he just cocks his head and goes, "What do you mean?"
Um, again, like a hesitance, and then I don't want everything to change again.
I'm not gonna roll history because I think he would actually recall this because he has recently talked about it to Petra. But I think Nor kind of blinks and remembers the earlier events in Ninquel, and Star you kind of see it sink in for him, and he just ah, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, just a yeah kind of expression back.
Hmm. Nor kind of quietly like exhales a stream of smoke and looks at Star for a bit. Cigarette still like in his mouth before going. No, I can kind of relate to that.
Hmm. Another small smile, because yeah, he like has pieced enough information together to know that you probably can, and then another just small pat.
Not in the way I. He takes another her inhale from his cigarette and blows it up. I was pretty lucky this go around. Got most of my memories from my last iteration and all that, but not him, not fully. And it's been the opposite problem you have looking at them. And he kind of gestures at the ice phoenix in the distance.
there's another sort of like curious thought gesture. At the whole got all most of my memories back this time. Um, and also just the opposite of the other one. And can I roll insight again?
Yeah, sure.
Hmm.
17. Okay, what specifically were you rolling insight for?
Um, just see if there's like anything extra he can pick up, you know, how Nour feels about it all in particular.
It's complicated, is the first thing I can tell you. Like, it's extremely complicated, and as you like think on what he said a little, it kind of dawns on you like you weren't really thinking, you probably weren't like thinking much about it. As you know, phoenixes always come back to life, but he died. He died and he came back, and if what he said is true, then even though he has most of his previous iterations memories, he's not exactly the same person he was. And it probably feels, you look at him and you can see like the cocktail of emotions in him right now, and you can probably parse that it's probably a complicated feeling to have such a piece of your past from the memories of your previous iteration reappear in such a way and completely unchanged, even though you yourself have has changed a lot.
Mm, yeah, yeah. I think um, it's a feeling that he can't quite relate to, but also at the same time has enough that they can figure out like it's not a big leap to figure out how they would feel in a similar sort of situation. So yeah.
It's it's actually similar to what Star feels, just kind of in reverse.
Yeah.
Because the world around, well, in person, what the person didn't change. It's just Nora himself that became someone completely different in many ways.
Hmm. I think yeah, I think Star doesn't really respond to that and more just um sits in silence with no.
Mm. And I think eventually Nora kind of blows out a plume of smoke before going. Well, if the reason you're scared to fly is because you're scared too much time has passed, can't you just go flying with someone else? Or have a standy speaky or something on hand so you can check on them always to make sure you aren't flying for too long?
Hmm. There's a thoughtful expression like that hadn't really occurred to them, and then that expression sort of turns into like the thinking faces, like you know the equations almost literally start to bubble up around their head.
And Nora's just like, didn't cross your mind?
um a bit of a sheepish shake of the head and a shrug.
He grins and takes another puff of his cigarette before going. You shouldn't give up flying just like that. Not when you can still take to the skies.
Hmm. Would you like to roll insight?
Oh, sure. Fun. Lovely. You want to give me an advantage or something?
Yeah, I'll give you advantage.
Lovely. No, not at all.
An eight's better than a four, but that's still not good. Um, okay, I will give you. Star seems to be scheming and is looking directly at Nour, but you can't figure out what they're scheming.
Yeah, and Nor just kind of like raises an eyebrow and decides, you know what, not his problem until it becomes his problem. And he just kind of looks back up at the sky again. This town is weird.
It gets a sort of like a shake of the head, like a oh, you've just pulled me out of the thoughts that I was in. Right, I was in a conversation with someone, and then a chuckle and nod, like, yeah, this town is weird.
Really weird. Like, even hmm, even the cast we have. Like, I don't know what March is. I don't know where the kid's from. I don't know how the original Nor. I don't know how. I mean, I know how the legends, of course, and the lore, are reincarnation and rebirth and phoenixes, but I don't know how his egg got here. It all feels odd.
Do you want to roll another insight on Star?
Sure. Let's see if this is any better than the previous ones. 5. Can I please have advantage?
Yeah, you could have advantage.
12. It's at
Ah,
least 10.
yeah, I think okay, you listen to the Star and March FPS, right?
Yep.
Okay. Star is currently thinking about that poem that March shared with him, and there's this kind of just like dawning, oh yeah, this town is really weird, even from what you know.
Yeah, and considering this is a whole ass mythological creature, that's saying something.
Yeah.
And Nora kind of looks at Star and it's just like, any reason why you look like that? Something I should know?
Um, Star's like trying to figure out the best way to like phrase this, and I'm using that in air quotes because pictures maybe aren't the best thing to get this across, but then they'll attempt it with the um march and poem and the town and like a lullaby um and like the pillars and something sleeping.
Okay, I'm rolling intelligence to see if Nora got any of that. Holy
Oh,
shit, that's a funny. He follows your pictures and surprisingly enough, he actually gets what you're trying to say. And you see him like look back at the town and back at you like, okay, that's concerning. I've I've considering that I did not believe in the legends about phoenixes myself, and I have been very much proven wrong by recent events. That's concerning.
mm. There's another empathetic nod, like, yes, this is concerning.
I'm actually gonna roll history for Nor real quick. I'm gonna do so with advantage considering they are talking about this subject. Please advantage. Okay, 16. Nor actually pauses for a moment, like cigarette still dangling from his mouth. Because didn't didn't Ray didn't Race and react didn't Race and Tiak when we save them? Didn't they mention that the town was important?
There's a sort of dawning realization on Star as I'm not gonna roll them history because I think that's enough to prompt it. That yeah, they did mention something that they forgot about that was important about the town. There's just this. I'm guessing there's this like this shared look of yeah, we might need to talk to Hark.
Yeah, yeah. Just a handshake, yeah. Might want to get more information on that very concerning tidbit that they just learned. Just like might have to be gentle with it though. I don't think I've seen him not work on the post office this whole week.
Yeah, there's a face being made, and I think maybe like a brief image of taking liberties here of Petra like attempting to strong arm Hark into bed several times across the week.
And Nour just looks at that and nods like, yeah. Forgoing, you said, speaking of Petra though, if we do learn anything about this, should we even tell the others?
Um, um, Star sort of thinks, and then I think the conclusion they come to is like they'll make a gesture and mention, you know, this is like March is the one with the information, so I suppose it should be March's decision.
That's Nour actually Hale's like cigarette for a moment for like, yeah, of course will tell March given the information came from him, but if this is really something related to a monster sleeping in the mountain nearby, is it a good idea to keep that a secret?
Hmm. The uh there's again like a sort of thing, and then Star sort of like smiles, and the flurry of gestures images you get is we might need all of the help we can get.
Do we have to go back into that cave?
It's a shrug.
Does this have anything to do with those witches that everyone's been mentioning? I mean, it's kind of pretty suspicious that everyone we've seen so far that's been cursed by those witches have been guarding a floor in the cave.
Hmm.
Or the better part of quote unquote guarding.
There's again another like I hadn't actually thought about that sort of look. And then another
What's that?
shrug.
Nor has a plus three intelligence. He is actually pretty damn smart when he's actually making the effort.
I mean, Star's got a +1 in intelligence, but most of that I think has been going into trying to make sure this town is functional.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Nor's just sitting here like, yeah, that is pretty suspicious, isn't it?
Mm.
The fact that the witches parked everyone they cursed in the cave.
Yeah, no, Star. That now that you've got Star thinking about that, there's again that sort of thoughtful. I kind of want to get to the bottom of this. Look, you might have set them on a path that back into the mountain.
Oh, you look at Nora and you see that curiosity like reflected back on you, and actually, this probably shouldn't surprise you. Like, he hates going into the caves, but now that he's thinking about it, he's curious. He wants to know what this all is. He wants to know if there's actually a monster sleeping at the bottom of the mountain.
um, yeah, just the. I think we should talk to Huck.
Yeah, I guess that's on our agenda, and whatever he tells us, we'll tell Mark first, and depending on how that goes and how dire the information is, we tell the others.
um there's a moment that there's an actual physical exclamation mark that like appears over Star, and then they sort of make a Tia as well. I mean, she is the mayor of this town. She probably deserves to know.
Oh, yeah. Actually, does Tia even know anything about this? Because didn't March show her the lullaby the first time we came into town?
Um, you get another shrug. You get the feeling that Star has not thought about this a lot.
Meanwhile, Nour, who has nothing better to do but think.
just I've just got the mental image of Noah being like with a board with all the red string and being like to the other members in the middle of their construction, it's all connected.
Yeah, and and Nour just kind of like, well, let's tell Petra last.
That gets a big chuckle out of Star. Um it's just like he doesn't say anything for or against that statement, just a big laugh.
No, no, think about it. Remember what happened the last time we went into the caves?
Uh, yeah, there's the Leroy Jenkins Petra sort of
Yep.
was, yeah. Then he nods. Yeah, telling Petra lost.
Yeah, yeah, both of them just handshaking on this. Yeah, let's not tell Petra about a possible monster sleeping under the mountain until we have March there, so that the both of you can potentially stronghold her if she tries Leroy Jenkins again.
um, yeah. There's um there's another sort of like um scheming look on Star's face at the mention of Petra and March. Yeah.
Hmm, I wonder what that scheming look is about. Nor's not gonna question it. And I think he is gonna naturally hop off the branch. I'm gonna roll deck safe to see how well he manages it.
Oh.
Holy shit, that was a 19 minus 4. Okay, he actually lands on his feet pretty well.
uh
And Star, you actually do have to. I mentioned that Star has the like minor thought of, huh, are his bones actually hollow? When he's human, before he looks back up at Star and goes, well, come on then, we probably should go and ask Hark.
Yep, I'm gonna roll an acrobatics. Oh, I think he just like does a backflip on the way down.
Show off.
You get a little like tilt of the hat before his face turns serious. He's like, "Yep, let's go find Hark."
And I think we can end the FPS there.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Yeah, we could potentially set this like kind of before the next Dreamers Crest game tomorrow.
Yeah, I think that sounds good to me. So that's sort of on the agenda for the first thing that we're doing.
Yeah, because this is something that should be addressed.
Yeah.
And thank you everyone for listening. We hope you have fun with this too, and have fun listening to the lore TM.
It was good fun. Thank you guys for for listening in both now and later.
And I do gotta go, but I love you all so much. Mwah, bye.